This is a sad day for the Marine Corps and for our armed services.
This is one of the darkest chapters in the history of the Marine Corps.
Service members who disrespect their fellow service members, dishonor the service, and dishonor our nation.
Outrageous and offensive behavior.
Completely unacceptable.
Ugly, ugly representation of the Marine ethos.
Who is being held accountable for doing nothing since 2013? Who?
We've got to change. And that's on me.
Social media has resulted in a significant increase in personal and social communication and interaction. According to the Global Digital Report published by We Are Social, there are 2.8 billion active social media users worldwide. The Marine Corps encourages Marines to explore and engage in social media as a tool to stay connected with family and friends. However, when used irresponsibly, social media can be harmful to you, your fellow Marines, and the Marine Corps. It's important to remember that when you post comments, photos, videos, or other media on social networks, it is a permanent record of your activity. There is no such thing as an anonymous post. What you put online has the potential to be seen by the same 2.8 billion social media users worldwide. Always keep in mind that any post about the Marine Corps or that refers to the Marine Corps on any internet site is considered an unofficial internet post. This means you must still comply with regulations and policies related to personal standards of conduct, operational security, information assurance, personally identifiable information, ethics regulations, foreign disclosure regulations, and release of information to the public. The lines between your personal and professional lives often cross when you use social media, so it's important to carefully consider all content you post. Avoid posting things that could discredit you or the Marine Corps. Do not post anything that is defamatory, libelous, obscene, abusive, threatening, racially hateful, or otherwise offensive or illegal. And never disclose any information to include photos or video that could compromise operational security. In order to educate Marines, sailors, and DoD personnel in appropriate online behavior and to reduce the risk of individual or organizational attacks, the Marine Corps has published guidance via the Social Media Handbook, ALMAR 008/17, and MAR-Admin 365/10, which provide social media guidance on unofficial internet posts.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel Lauren Edwards, and I'm currently the battalion commander for 8th Engineer Support Battalion out of 2nd MLG. When I took over command of 8th Engineer Support Battalion, there was an article that was run in Marine Times and other news outlets because I just happened to be the first female commander of an Engineer Support Battalion. When that article ran on the social media, there was a photo associated with it, and it wasn't a particularly flattering photo. My camis were a little too big, and they had bloused out over my duty belt. When that hit social media, the social media trolls hit. There were so many comments that were made about how I looked. I must be a quota. There were other terrible comments that I can't repeat here. There were the make me a sandwich, you know, we'll give anybody command, she's fat, I bet she can't run, do any of these things. And it was just kind of shocking to me because I didn't know most of any of the people that said those things, and they were active duty and veteran and civilian, male, female. It ran the gamut of folks who were saying terrible things. And I didn't even know about the article until that evening. I'm with my family and some friends, and we're having dinner, and we're just, you know, having a good time. And a Facebook notification popped up on my phone, and I had been tagged in a comment. And I read the comment, and it was one of my old Marines in defense of me. I had to grab my mom's phone a couple times because she was getting ready to mother hen all over it. But I mean, that was probably one of the hardest parts, is seeing my family who has supported an institution or supported what I have done. And you know, I say an institution is not the whole institution by any stretch of the imagination, but this sliver of the institution or the past people in the institution that were doing this. It was very disheartening to have them have to watch that firsthand and watch the gamut of emotions that I went through those first 2 or 3 days. I don't think the whole allows that, but it's a matter of standing up for each other and not being the bystander. You have to be loud, you have to say it, you know, you have to support each other, and you have to call it out when you see it. It can't just be calling it out when it happens to you. You got to fiercely protect each other, because we're brothers and sisters, and we're all we've got when the bullets start flying.
My name is Catherine McDonald. I'm an intelligence specialist with Naval Criminal Investigative Service. We live in a world today where social media is rampant, and it's a great resource and it's a great tool, especially for service members, to be able to stay in touch and connect with their family and their friends as they're away. However, with any innovation, you can have some drawbacks, and unfortunately we are seeing some negativity coming to the Marine Corps in regards to social media. For example, cyberbullying, where our military members are being threatened or are threatening others by saying whatever negative comments or harassment, stalking, those types of things. And they think they can say anything because there's this perception of anonymity, that either the other person does not know who you are, or that there's not going to be any repercussions for what you're saying. One of the other things that are impacting Marines and sailors today is the posting of sexually explicit photos. You have a male and female, or male-male, female-female, who are engaged in a relationship and have exchanged sexually explicit photos, believing they can trust the other person. And unfortunately, sometimes you can't, and that person may then take those photos and post them online, and you now have become a victim because you didn't provide your consent for those images that you thought were private. And with the internet, you can't take it back. You can delete it, but it's still out there. You can still find it.
I'm Special Agent Kenneth Harris with the United States Naval Criminal Investigative Service, assigned to Adult Sexual Assault Squad. We use social media in every aspect of our investigation. With this day and age, with social media being so prevalent, we use that to solve cases, to corroborate and witness victims and suspects. And it is a very, very big portion of our investigations because people post a lot of things on Facebook. One thing a Marine can do to protect other Marines is to say something. 4 simple words goes a long way. See something, say something. We all have a duty to help out, to protect each other from enemies foreign and domestic. And if you see something on social media, if you see something out in town, on base, that you know is wrong, that is a crime, you should report to your chain of command, who will eventually report it to PMO, CID, and up to change to NCIS. There's millions of people that can actually access the internet, social media, and can see what's going on. A lot of times people think that this is not going to happen to them. But once you start posting illicit photos online, you start sharing these photos, you start cyberbullying and talking about other Marines, saying bad things about them, it's going to be out there. As a Marine, you're here to protect each other. As a service member, you're here to protect each other. And as NCIS, I am here to protect the service members of the United States Marines and Navy. You are really hurting people by talking about them online, posting things online. And you really need to think about posting bad things about people or fellow Marines or even civilians online, because there's a lot of repercussions that could happen here.
Marines and sailors, bad character and poor judgment does not start with social media, but it does get exposed by it. One bad decision can have a far-reaching impact that adversely affects us all. Approach online communication in the same way you communicate in person, by using sound judgment and common sense, adhering to the Marine Corps' core values of honor, courage, and commitment, and following established policy and abiding by the Uniform Code of Military Justice. If you're online, act with integrity and respect your fellow Marines and the institution we so proudly serve. The intent of the Marine Corps leadership is not to unjustly limit your online activities, but to protect what you have earned while looking out for your family and your brothers and sisters in arms. As Commanding General of Parris Island and the Eastern Recruiting Region, I am directing all personnel to review this video again and references outlined to fully understand the importance of your online conduct. If you believe you have been subject to inappropriate online conduct and are a victim of derogatory comments online because of gender, race, religion, sexual orientation, or if you know a Marine or sailor who have been threatened or called out online, contact your chain of command or use one of the references listed at the end of this video. Semper Fi, Marines.